Not even really denying it like that, man. We gonna peel this apart. Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Lance, and welcome to the Fame Report. Family, welcome back. Look what I got on today. All right, I got P code on because this video is the Diddy Files. All right, we're gonna get into it. All right, I'm reacting to this video. All right, shout out to my guy CC, and without further ado, let's ride.
The extremely powerful executive Sean Diddy Combs has had an ominous presence in the music industry for the past 30 years. From his suspicious involvement in the demise of Tupac and Biggie, his secretive ritualistic parties in the backrooms, as well as numerous accidental confessions, has made the public pre-decide that he is guilty of all accusations against him. Not only have multiple women filed formal lawsuits alleging him of violent sexual assault and humiliation, but now the federal government raided his home as they investigate his involvement in a global sex trafficking operation. Technically, at the moment, he is not being charged of any crime, but any day now, Diddy could feel the wrath of the American justice system. Today, we are going to unearth the secrets he never wanted the world to know with the goal of determining one thing: did he do it or not? It's first very important to understand Diddy's potential involvement in the murders of Tupac and Biggie, because if you believe those allegations to be true, everything that happens afterwards makes total sense. In the mid-90s, Diddy, also known as Sean Puffy Combs, was in the middle of the infamous East Coast vs West Coast hip-hop rivalry. It all began with East Coast rapper and Bad Boy Records signee, the Notorious B.I.G., versus his enemy, West Coast rapper and Death Row Records signee, Tupac Shakur, and it ended with both of them being assassinated via drive-by shootings. Biggie's murder remains unsolved to this day, but in 2023 we learned that Keefe D was the shot caller for the group of individuals that killed Tupac. Although we do not know the specific details as to why these two rap legends were killed, through all the theories, key information, and first-hand recollections from friends and witnesses of both murders indicate that Sean Combs had involvement in both murders.
You know what's crazy to me? Real quick. What's crazy to me is when that case first came out, not the original case, obviously, I was a baby, but when Keefe D got called in, you know, at first I'm like, you know, he's saying Diddy did it. A part of me was like, I can't believe it, right? I'm just going to be honest with you, because of Diddy's image. This is why branding is so important, right? And then all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? Actually, maybe he did do it, right? Maybe he did say, only because you have to look at the behavior, right? I look at the behavior of a person. I look at their actions. What are they doing? Again, a lot more stuff to come out, but good video so far. Let's find out his angle on this. Let's get back to it.
Biggie and Tupac were friendly and actually respected each other at first. Tupac had begun rapping in 1991 and within 2 years already had earned a platinum album. Biggie was a crack dealer who recorded freestyles for fun, until someone sent his tapes to Puffy, who signed him to Bad Boy Records for $25,000. Puffy was also able to use his status in the music industry to connect Big and Pac. Pac became a mentor to Biggie. He once even asked him to be his manager.
I was there, nigga. I trained the nigga. He used to be under me like my lieutenant. The nigga, I used to come to New York. I used to do shows and let the nigga come on before I did Keep Your Head Up and Get Around. Because nobody knew the nigga in New York. And I used to tell the nigga, yo, if you want to make your money, you gotta rap for the bitches. Do not rap for the niggas. I told the nigga, don't rap for the niggas. Rap for the bitches. The bitches will buy your records and the niggas want what the bitches want. So all of a sudden he changed from being listen to party and bullshit, listen to his style. He changed from that to Big Papa.
Pac believes that Biggie used him as a blueprint, changed his whole style, persona, and music to be more aligned with Tupac. Many people speculated that Diddy also had a slight obsession with Tupac. He started dripping himself in Versace after Tupac did it first. He also got romantically involved in women after Tupac had ran through them first, like Sarah Chapman, who ran around with Tupac in the 90s and is now the mother of one of Diddy's children. Pac's claims aged like fine wine when recently the internet figured out that Biggie's most successful hit, Juicy, was actually stolen by a Mississippi-based artist called Notorious B.I.G., who released a song called Big Daddy a year before Juicy that sounds exactly the same. Is it a coincidence that Notorious B.I.G. and Notorious B.I.G. are very similar, and this song is called Big Daddy, and Biggie started going by Big Papa? But many people believe this was the mastermind of Diddy, as he was a music industry expert who knew how to scout talent and assess a hit song before anyone else heard it. They believe Puffy instructed his artists to steal from Notorious B.I.G. and Biggie trusted his boss and mentor. Pac and Big's rivalry began as a music-based competition. Who had more music sales, who had the better fashion, media representation, and cultural influence. But due to gangster rap creeping into the mainstream and the two being surrounded by legitimate gangsters, tensions escalated to life-threatening conflict. In November 1994, Tupac was on his way to record some music at Quad Studios in New York City. Coincidentally, Biggie was there recording with Junior Mafia, which was a group of 4 friends that Big knew since their childhood. Puffy was there too, since Big was his artist, and anything that Big writes or records is technically owned by the Bad Boy label. Allegedly, a man by the name of Jimmy Henchman, who is now serving life in prison, was planning a robbery on Tupac since Pac owed him some money. Many speculate that Jimmy told Puffy what was about to happen, but Puffy did not try to stop it. When Pac was outside the studio, he looked up and realized rapper Lil Cease, who is best friends with Biggie, was yelling at him from above. He was excited to see him because they were friends. He told him he was going to go downstairs and meet him in the lobby. Pac got to the lobby downstairs when some men attempted to rob him at gunpoint, which quickly led to conflict and Pac being shot 5 times.
In the middle of that trial, Shakur was gunned down, shot 5 times in what he claimed was a murder attempt and police called a robbery.
As the police did their investigation, you can see Diddy looking around scanning the area with his head down. Keep in mind that after Tupac was shot, he got in the elevator and went upstairs where dozens of Bad Boy affiliates were located. Pac was interviewed by Vibe magazine detailing the night he was shot and the energy of the people around him while he was bleeding out. Because Andre Harrell was there, Puffy was there, Biggie, nobody approached me. I noticed that nobody would look at me. Andre Harrell wouldn't look at me. I had been going to dinner with him the last few days. Puffy was standing back too. I knew Puffy. He knew how much stuff I had done for Biggie before he came out. Based on Tupac's words here, fans in the media believe that he was hinting that Biggie and Puffy might be behind the attack, which bothered Big and Puff since publicly at this point they were still friends.
Tupac article had me pissed off, you know what I'm saying? And the rumors that's spreading is on some tip like we set him up, you know what I'm saying? And that's crazy. It's just ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? But I also understand that if you was to get shot 5 times, mine is just completely spinning, you know what I'm saying? You're real confused.
Not even really denying it like that, man. Yo, go back real quick. Go back. Look at his face. We gonna peel this apart. We're gonna break this thing down here. I'm in my journalist bag. I'm in my investigator bag. Come on, let's stop playing. Like, do you see his face?
Which bothered Big and Puff since publicly.
You see, he's just doing the little roll. You know, could have been me. Maybe not.
At this point, they were still friends.
Tupac article had me pissed off.
Watch.
And the rumors that's spreading.
As soon as he talks about it. You don't see that? See that look? See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? That look right there? Again, there might be people that are saying I'm reaching, but look, body language is everything. I'm not reaching because it's body language, right? Your body language tells you how you're feeling because it's all connected. Back to the video.
It's on some tip like we set him up, you know what I'm saying? And that's crazy. It's just ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? But I also understand that.
Now, I do think Biggie is innocent, but look, he's not even denying it.
If you was to get shot 5 times, mine is just completely spinning, you know what I'm saying? You're real confused about your situation. So it'll cause you to say things that you really don't mean.
To make things worse, a few months later, Pac was found guilty of sexual assault and would end up serving 9 months in prison. This gave him tons of time to think and reevaluate his life. To add insult to injury, Biggie released his iconic cutthroat track called Who Shot Ya, which felt like an obvious diss towards Tupac. But technically, it was recorded before Pac got shot, but it was marketed and released months after the incident. Regardless, the media developed the narrative that Big and Puffy set up the shooting and now released a diss record bragging about.
This is the record that took the beef to a whole new level. That was a very dumb PR move on Diddy's part, because Diddy was controlling a lot of that, right? Dumb PR move on Diddy's part because, well, for obvious reasons. Like, I don't even need to say why, right? But man, so much stuff could have been avoided It's crazy to think. So much could have been avoided, but hey, back to the video.
About their hit, and Puff's full intentions were to stir up drama, as can be confirmed by the former president of Bad Boy Records.
Biggie might not have thought that when he wrote the lyrics that it was going to be used for that, but the way it was marketed by the company and released in the succession of things that were going on that we were dealing with on all the levels that we were dealing, that record did what it was supposed to do. And that's a perfect example of how my former business partner works and thinks.
Pac was sitting in jail already thinking that they set him up, and the release of this song was all the proof he needed. But this wasn't the only shooting that Puffy was involved in. It's also important to know that Tupac signed to Death Row Records while in prison after the label owner Suge Knight promised to use his money to get Pac released. As they were in the process of getting Pac out, Suge Knight and his best friend Jake Robles, aka Big Jake, were at the Platinum nightclub in Atlanta. Suge confronted Puffy at the club and was choking him. Puffy's bodyguard, Anthony Wolf Jones, steps in to defend him, and then things got out of hand. Next thing you know, shots are being fired and Suge's friend Big Jake was shot and killed. Whether or not Wolf shot Jake has never been confirmed, but Suge was holding Puffy responsible for the attack, which was enough to now ignite a feud between the two executives. Quick sidebar, recently fans have noticed that Puffy's firstborn biological son Justin Combs looks a lot like Wolf. How does your son look more like your best friend than you? Anyways, in October 1995, Tupac got out of prison and he wanted war.
I have no fear. I have only ambition, and I want mine, and I will do anything to protect and feed my family. And these niggas represent a threat.
Pac got out and immediately started taunting and scheming on Bad Boy Records as much as possible. In the days after his release from prison, he jumped into the studio to record his next album, All Eyes on Me, and he talked about the anticipated tracks.
Two of America's Most Wanted with me and Snoop. That's gonna be a humdinger, man. Shorty Wanna Be a Thug. That's gonna be a big one. And Wonder Why They Call You Bitch with Faith. That's gonna be a big one.
He mentions Faith, aka Faith Evans, who was married to Biggie for over a year at this point. Imagine your wife jumps in the studio with your biggest enemy 1 week after he gets out of jail. Pac was also seen with Faith Evans at Whitney Houston's album release party. The rumor is that Biggie cheated on Faith and that she was trying to get back at him by cheating with Pac. Pac also allegedly started messing around.
Yeah, some of this is not rumors. Faith went on DJ Vlad and confirmed some of that stuff. Not all of it, but some of it. Back to the video.
With Mary J. Blige, who was a close friend and business partner with Puffy. Then Death Row Records held a Christmas party in 1995 where a close friend of Puffy, Mark Anthony Bell, was mercilessly beaten and forced to drink urine after refusing to give Suge Puffy's mother's address. Tupac and Death Row did not let off the gas. At the 1996 Soul Train Awards, Biggie won the award for Song of the Year, and Tupac won Best Rap Album of the Year. After Big got his award, he took some pictures backstage and then exited the venue because he had to go to the airport to catch a flight. And that's when Pac and Suge pulled up in a Hummer taunting them.
While we was waiting for the car to pull up, Suge and Tupac pulled up in the Hummer. And, Tupac was really loud, yelling West Side, cursing, yelling a bunch of stuff. And Suge came from the other side and was like trying to actually walk up to us saying he just want to talk to Big, want to talk. But of course everybody got in front. It was a little yelling and arguing for a minute, but police and everybody got in front, kind of stopped everything.
Despite Biggie's gangster lyrics, he was really a chill dude who didn't want to beef with Pac. Remember, he looked up to him. He always thought they were friends, but as we are speculating, he seemed to be a pawn in a much bigger operation.
He knows you sent somebody to shoot him that first time. Why? Is that true or false?
Why? No, it's false. Why would I do that?
Okay. Do you think he was just hyping a record, or you have no idea?
I don't know what was the problem. I wasn't inside his head at the time. I don't really.
Yeah, but we do. We know what the problem was. Yeah. It's unfortunate. I truly believe Big. Drop in the comments if you believe Big. I believe Big. He had nothing to do with it. 100%. Now, other folk, I don't know. I don't think so. Back to the video.
What's the reason for him doing what he did?
Tupac was a man on fire, a man who he believes was wrongfully convicted of a crime he didn't commit, was constantly being slandered by the media, and now feels was being disrespected by his biggest enemies, on top of being surrounded by real gangsters. He released a music video alongside Snoop Dogg called Two of America's Most Wanted, which featured a skit mocking Biggie and Puff.
Pop, please don't kill me. It was Buff's idea.
No, man.
I'm just a rapper, man. Please don't take me out the game.
Interesting that Tupac himself instructed the Biggie actor in the 90s to say it was Puff's idea, as if he knew the truth. Then Pac released one of the most abrasive and iconic diss tracks.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Yo, this is such a good video because I never even thought about that. Like, I never went to that video and put that together. Let's go back real quick. Let's digest that information because that just went over everybody's head, right?
Tupac was a man on fire, a man who he believes was wrongfully convicted of a crime he didn't commit, was constantly being slandered by the media, and now feels was being disrespected by his biggest enemies, on top of being surrounded by real gangsters. He released a music video alongside Snoop Dogg called Two of America's Most Wanted, which featured a skit mocking Biggie and Puff.
Pop, please don't kill me.
Here it goes.
It was Buff's idea. Oh, man. I'm just a rapper, man. Please don't take me out the game.
It was Puff's idea. I'm just a rapper, man. Please don't take me out the game. People don't even know Pac was ahead of his time. He didn't mess with P. Diddy, right? From the jump, he didn't mess with P. Diddy. He messed with Big, but he did not mess with Diddy from the jump. Again, I didn't meet Pac, right? I was a baby, barely born when he was alive. But, he gave me the vibes of, some of those people, they could just smell BS on somebody when they're just BSing. You know those people. We all know those people, right? Back to the video.
Interesting that Tupac himself instructed the Biggie actor in the 90s to say it was Puff's idea, as if he knew the truth. Then Pac released one of the most abrasive and iconic diss tracks of all time, Hit 'Em Up. He starts off the song claiming he had sex with Biggie's wife and then directly calls Biggie, Puffy, and Junior Mafia all bitches, along with various other threats. The pressure was on Bad Boy. Pac was not going to stop, and Puffy couldn't take the heat. Biggie's bodyguard, Gene Deal, recalls when Puff reached his tipping point.
He said, I'm a businessman. I'm about making money, but something gotta change. I don't give a f if Pac gotta die, Big gotta die, or Suge Knight go to jail. Something's gotta change.
Gene was taken back. He wondered if Puff realized that he just said he didn't care if his own artist died. At the same time, he still wanted to play gangster games. As
you see right there, not this picture, but
only
let me
lead to
pause it
two
on any other
outcomes,
picture, but this
death
picture, like,
or jail. And
right.
Tupac.
Now, back to what I was saying. Who wants to pause at that spot? Here's my thing, right? I'm going to pause the video here and I'm going to stop it here because I just want to go over it because a lot was said. And let me go over a couple things. Number one, if I would have watched this video before that video of him and Cassie came out and all these allegations and everything, I would feel different. I would still be on the side of, I think Diddy did it, but it's just way more compelling now. And on top of that, there's a lot of things about this video that I like. By the way, it sounds like I'm like advertising for him. I'm not. I genuinely think that, because some of these points I've never heard about, right? Like the point of like that music video. You know how many times I've watched that music video and I haven't put I think it's maybe just me. Maybe I'm just not. I wasn't putting two and two together. But to me, I believe that Pac, number one, he already knew what type of, not just Diddy, but the people around him. He already knew what time they were on. See, a lot of people, I also think that maybe they thought Pac had that resentment in him and he had that anger remember, Pac was about Dear Mama. Pac was about community. Pac was about giving back. Pac was about, black love, right? So, see, that's where I'm at, right? Because I don't necessarily think, Pac made that decision like, oh, I don't mess with them. Well, obviously because of the shooting, but other than that, I believe it started before that. I'm gonna say something controversial. I think it started before that. I think there was some things said or something was done also prior to that also fueled Pac feeling the way he did. That is my opinion. You let me know what you think in the comment section below, guys. This is part one. Look, if you want part two, look, if you still are here, pat yourself on the back, because if you want part two, I need at least 200 likes on this video. 200 likes. And I will drop part two. All right. And drop in the comment section part two. I'm going to say it again. Drop part two because I really like this video. But, this is a bit different style of content. So I want to see if you guys rock with it anyway. Slap the like button. Make sure you kick the subscribe button for more. Until next time. Peace.